Get the out of here. Payday. You want payday? I know that. Canelo, I was born ready. Alvarez versus Caleb Plant, undisputed, could happen in September. That's what ESPN is saying. The latest reports are saying. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. If you guys could smash the like button, throw a like on this video. When you guys hit the like button, that goes a long way and lets others know of this informative content on the sweet science, boxing. This is your one-stop shop. Now let's take a look at it. ESPN is reporting sources. Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant finalizing September 18th bout for an undisputed super middleweight fight, right? The link will be in the description. Canelo Alvarez is inching towards the goal of collecting all 4 belts at 168. Alvarez, boxing's biggest star, Caleb Plant, in the process of finalizing a deal September 18th in Las Vegas, Nevada, a PBC on Fox pay-per-view that will crown an undisputed super middleweight champion, multiple sources tell ESPN. Canelo, a promotional and network-free agent, was offered a one-fight deal with Al Haymon's PBC that will likely net Alvarez a career-high guaranteed payday. Wow. He earned $35 million guaranteed for 3 fights with DAZN and nearly $40 million for the rematch with Golovkin. Alvarez's last 3 matchups. Eddie Hearn is unclear whether Eddie Hearn will be involved in the promotion of this fight. The Mexican star is coming off an 8-round stoppage with Billy Joe Saunders, where he inflicted a fully fractured orbital bone on the English boxer that required surgery. Cinco de Mayo weekend, yada, yada, yada. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing. PBC boasts the deepest stable of talent in boxing, but it isn't nearly as top-heavy as Top Rank. Man, I ain't listening to that. That's whatever. Bro, PBC's stable. They putting on the best fights right now. That's all you need to know. Charlo Castaño, that was crack, running back. I did a video about that. So, again, you guys read the whole article if you're interested in it. I just want to cherry pick the pieces of information that I need to see. Now, in my past videos, I told you guys I was not going to hold my breath because I wasn't fully confident that Canelo, I was born ready. Alvarez would make the right decision, go to PBC without conflict, and fight Caleb Plant. I know this is what he said he wanted, but he's done this at 160, where he said he wanted undisputed, and for whatever reason, he went up to 175 without that dream being realized to fight Sergey Kovalev. So I did state that I wasn't, sold that Canelo would actually follow through with this fight and fight the guy he wanted to say that what he wanted to say he wanted to fight for that 4th belt. Now, if Canelo does fight Caleb Plant, then I was wrong. And listen, I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. So if Canelo does fight Caleb Plant, I think it's a great fight. Now, I've seen some people in my live stream, they were lying on my name and saying I said it was a bad fight. You have never once heard me. Caleb Plant, that's my man. Canelo, he's a great fighter. I've never, ever said that the fight is a bogus fight. Never. Never said that. But I did say I'm not holding my breath for it. So if these reports hold up and Canelo fights Caleb Plant, then that's good. I don't mind being wrong, because I wanted to see this the first time they were in negotiations when Canelo sued Golden Boy, sued Oscar De La Hoya, and sued DAZN and broke free of his contract. And he got out of his contract, and they were talking about Caleb Plant could happen in December. And you've seen, I didn't have no complaints with the fight. But yet again, Canelo Alvarez, something came up, and then he went back to the people he was suing, DAZN, and said he's fighting Caleb Smith out of nowhere. And like there wasn't enough time. So we knew they could revisit this, but Canelo says he liked working with Eddie Hearn. And I told you guys that probably creates complexities because Eddie Hearn is his own promoter. He's tethered to a whole different platform on an app. He's not needed for PBC to make a fight with Canelo and Caleb Plant. So I didn't really see how that was going to work. So there were some complications. Now, again, I do not mind being wrong if we get good fights and the better thing for boxing happens. Caleb Plant can fight his ass off. He can scrap. He stays in shape. He stays in the gym. So we don't have to worry about that. He's disciplined. And I think he has a great style. I like his style better than Billy Joe Saunders. And I told you that. Billy Joe Saunders has not done anything at that weight. If you correct me if I'm wrong, which I know none of y'all can do in the comments section, tell me Billy Joe Saunders' best win at 168. Go. Leave me a comment in the comment section and tell me who he beat at 168. Because Caleb Plant, he beat some formidable guys, right? Even the guys like the Tennessee hometown fight, Vincent Fainsbutt, that guy wasn't bad. He had some power, you could tell. He just wasn't on Caleb's level. But like guys like Jose Uzcategui and Caleb Truax, that's a former champion. He beat James DeGale, who was an Olympic British medalist, the first to ever become an Olympic British medalist, if I'm not mistaken, gold medalist, right? And these are guys that Caleb Plant has beaten, right? Porky Medina. That's better. All these names are better than anybody that Billy Joe Saunders beat. He only had a few fights. So I don't know where people get off. I see, this is the problem with boxing. People want me to be wrong. They want what I'm saying not to be true, but they don't know enough about boxing to refute what I'm saying. Caleb Plant has showed us that at 168, Billy Joe Saunders has some good wins. They're all at 160 though. He didn't fight Canelo at 160. That would have been a better fight at 160 years ago. He fought him now and he broke his eye. That's what happened. Billy Joe Saunders ain't done nothing at 168 and he failed a drug test. So why are we rewarding people like that instead of guys like Caleb Plant, Jermall Charlo, David Benavidez, right? Guys like Demetrius Andrade, and majority of those people outside of Benavidez have never failed a drug test. So why did Billy Joe Saunders get it? Oh, because it was a unification. Again, that's politics. That's the whole reason he got a belt. Caleb Plant can really fight. He didn't have politics. PBC. I was at that fight. I covered the Caleb Plant Uzcategui fight. That was an IBF for the IBF title, and Uzcategui was coming off of beating Andre Durrell. That wasn't a give me fight. At the time, I don't even know. Some people were saying Caleb Plant was going to lose. He dropped Uzcategui twice in that fight. So nothing was ever handed to Caleb Plant. So you've never heard me say that this Canelo and Caleb Plant is a bad fight. I've never said that because I respect his journey. Nothing was ever handed to him. He's had, I can't say a hard life, but he's had some hardships in life and they're well documented. You can go look at the man's pedigree. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to some of his immediate family. You guys get it. That's a dope picture too. Shout out to the boy Conway. Let's get it. You know, and the other reason I like the Canelo and Caleb Plant fight, on top of the fact that Caleb Plant don't drink and smoke and he's always in shape. He don't do drugs. So you know what you're getting. If Canelo beats him, it's just because he beats him. But it's not because Caleb Plant is not trying. Caleb Plant, after I think it was the Uzcategui fight, he had an injury and he got that taken care of. He's been looking good, looking spicy ever since. This will be his biggest fight, career payday for, they said, Canelo and Caleb Plant possibly, or at least the biggest guarantee. So sign me up. This is a great fight. Sign me up. Great conflict of styles. You know what I mean? People just say whatever they want, but Caleb Plant, he could really fight. I've been raving about Caleb Plant for years. He has the pizzazz, cool nickname, sweet hands. But another thing I really like about this fight is the mere fact that Caleb Plant is finally a name and a personality with some spark and some charisma, which is how you build big fights in boxing. See, HBO, they started this at the end of their demise. They started this trend where they started celebrating like mostly foreign fighters, Eastern European. Now, I don't care where you're from, but what I'm saying is they're overly celebrating only foreign fighters and completely disregarded the American fighter, you know, probably because a lot of the top quality amateurs and quality American fighters that come out, some of them are black, you know what I mean? And HBO kind of got away from that and then they end up getting out the business. So for me, other people like Top Rank and others kept this trend going, DAZN, where they stop homegrown fight. They want to make the fights in America, but they don't want to celebrate good storylines, backstories, and homegrown fighters. So it's like, what part of the game is that? Caleb Plant, he comes from one of our wonderful states in America, Tennessee, right? He from down south, right? He's a Las Vegas transplant. He lives in Vegas now, right? Has an American wife. Like, this is a great contemporary because he can talk the talk. Caleb's no punk. He's not going to let you just talk down on him. If Eddie Reynoso or Canelo or somebody talk spicy, you know, he's going to say his piece. And then you've seen Canelo, he's worked on his English. Get the out of here. Like, so I think depending on tempers, if they flare, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to just all the way respect each other or whatever, but fight week, you get closer to fight. Sometimes tempers flare and things like that. So I think Caleb Plant will be the best dance partner for outside of other guys like Andrade, Jamal Charlo, and David Benavidez. This will be the best person in a while because people can relate to Canelo and they can relate to Caleb Plant. You know what I mean? Canelo's been fighting here since 1819 in America and built a fan base. So all in all, great fight. It's going to be a bad look for DAZN because if this fight is all on PBC, you know, that means Canelo, I doubt Canelo fights a fourth time this year. So that means Canelo's going to be probably his last fight if he becomes undisputed in September. I don't really see him fighting in November, December again. You know what I mean? So what is DAZN's programming going to look like? You know, that's not an option for if he's fighting Caleb Plant, then what happens to the Triple G? Who does he fight? He just sit out until Ryota Murata? Lots of questions. So bold move. It should have been happened, especially free agent Canelo. Let's see it. That's all I want to say. Let's see it. I'll make some more videos about this. Hopefully Canelo actually goes to PBC and joins the conglomerate with his brand. He wanted to become a free agent. He did that. So make good use of it. You did 3 fights with DAZN and Eddie Hearn. Now do the fight that you want on Fox PBC, which is Undisputed. And again, you got a great dance partner. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Nothing confirmed, but they're saying it could be finalized from multiple sources. That's the latest report. Throw a like on the video. Again, it goes a long way. Props to Canelo if he takes the fight. I didn't see him necessarily doing it, especially trying to bring Eddie Hearn along, but we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Drop payday. You want payday? Drop a like.